Alright, everybody. Welcome to episode 187 of Psycho's Platters. Yeah, getting towards that 200 mark, indeed. Always sponsored by coffee. I actually happen to have a K-cup maker, and I also have a 4-cup coffee pot. I always have coffee. So, I wanted to throw out there really quick before I do this episode that if you have not seen the recent review episodes that I have done for the new Cheap Trick, the new Sticks, and the new Chuck Berry, please go take a look if those artists interest you. I know some people have gone off and they've asked, Mighty Psycho, have you forgot us vinyl community, the VC? No, I haven't. It's just, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I actually like doing these new album reviews. Saying that, I've had some people go off and ask me, well, why don't you do the new album reviews on vinyl? And I'm going to tell you the honest truth. It all comes down to this. It's all been a cost factor for me. And when I do like to do the new album reviews, it is obviously a lot cheaper for me to grab a CD than it is vinyl. Unless it's like really on sale or I have an excellent BNN coupon, then yes, I will get the brand new vinyl of something. But I end up doing CD reviews, which I know is probably no for the VC, but you know what? I have fun doing them. And if you have fun doing something, you should just be happy and keep doing it, right? Right. So, on that note, today is a vinyl find episode. I know, some people were like, you ever going to get to the vinyl? Yes, I'm going to get to the vinyl. This is probably going to be a two-parter, and I'm going to give you half of them now, and either half the next episode or the following episode. I've got them all set up here. These are 45s that I either found in my Illinois finds or ones that I picked up recently at Salvation Army and another independent thrift store literally within the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to start off right here, right off the bat. This one has got a little bit more of a personal connection for me, okay? Local stuff. The thing I like about 45s is 45s you can dig. You can dig, you can find things that you've never heard before, and chances are you can get them at a cheaper price. Right? Right. Alright, so my Northwest Illinois peeps, I think you may appreciate what I'm going to show you here. This is from 1984, and it's from a band called Earthbound on Earthtune Records. Hurry up, slow down, and you can't keep a good man down on the flip. And for you people, like I said, in Northwest Illinois, it even has the Full Circle Records stamp. I mean, we're talking the old address on Grant Street before they moved to Route 31 a couple years later. I want to say it was like 87, 88 they got out of the Grant Street place. And the reason why this actually holds a little bit of personal significance to me is this. I know who Earthbound are. Earthbound was a power trio, and a pair of the trio were the Carpenter brothers. You've got Charles, and if I remember correctly, Mike. I want to say it was Mike, because Mike Carpenter was my chemistry teacher in high school. He was the chemistry teacher at McHenry High School East Campus back in '84. I want to say he was there for only 2 years, and then he moved on somewhere else. But he lived, if I remember correctly, in McHenry. His brother lived in Naperville, and so somewhere in between, they went off and they had this trio. He told me he had the trio in the early 80s. This is the only 45 to my knowledge. Okay, he pressed, I think it was like 100 or 200 copies of this thing. Okay, some of them actually sold at Full Circle, surprisingly enough. And really good garage rock, seriously, for mid-80s. They were heavily influenced with the 60s and early 70s vibe. I am going to attempt to get permission one way or another. And when I do, or if after an ample amount of time passes, I will post the A and the B side of this 45 to the Psycho's Platters YouTube channel. But that'll be a little while from now, okay? So the personal connection, other than Mike was my high school chemistry teacher, they were getting ready to cut a second single. They were going to do that if this sold very well. The financing kind of fell through, but believe it or not, I, at 16 years old, attempted to write song lyrics. It was just something that I started doing in high school, like freshman, sophomore year. But he actually liked the lyrics that I did for the song Heart of Stone. No, don't ask me where the lyrics are. They are long gone. But I remember it was Heart of Stone was the name of the song. And my really good friend from high school, Kathy Mascarello, I highly doubt she watches these videos, but she actually wrote one as well, and he was going to use that song too as the flip. I don't know who was going to get the more prominence, but we were going to get co-writes. And it would have been the first time that Mighty Psycho would have ended up with a co-write on a music product. That actually was one of my bucket list items. I would end up being able to do that many, many years later. I co-wrote a song for the Devin Michaels project, and yes, the song is on YouTube. If you're bored, you can go check it out. Devin Michaels, awesome dude, awesome. He's got a history behind him. But Meet Your Maker was the song that I co-wrote back then. But so you find a copy of this on Earthbound, only 100 or 200 copies. Really, really good garage sound. All right. I know I yapped a little too long on that one. So this next one on Coed, Adam Wade. What a story on Adam Wade. Of course, I did my research. A lot of Wikipedia research and some independent doo-wop sites, and I do cite some of them here in the video. But what a story on Adam Wade. This is Ruby. Too Far was the flip. Born in '35 in Pittsburgh. In the late 50s, he worked as a lab assistant with Dr. Jonas Salk on the polio research. Yeah, that Jonas Salk. He wanted to pursue a singing career. In late '59, he went and signed with Coed. Ruby here was early to mid-1960, made it to number 58 on the Billboard charts. Too Far, like I said, the flip here, was a non-LP side. In 1961, he had 3 top 10 hits. His last hit was in 1965 with his version of Crying in the Chapel, which made it to 88 on the Billboard, 20 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary. So he got a top 20 hit out of that bit. Another little interesting factoid about him, though, in 1975, he hosted Musical Chairs, which was a game show on a major network. He, though, was the first African-American to host a game show in America. Seriously, it's true. In 1977, he pretty much finished off his recording career with an LP on Kirshner Records, of all things. I actually did hear some of those cuts, and they are in a little bit more of a soulful vein. If you like 70s soul, you might get a kick out of listening to that stuff on YouTube. But Adam Wade, right here on Coed Records. The next one I've got, Wade Flemons on the Red VJ. Here I Stand with the flip, Baby Let's Rock. Now, Wade Flemons, this made it to number 19 on the Billboard R&B, 80 on the Billboard charts in November of '58. Born in Coffeyville, Kansas in '40, he started in '58. The thing about Wade, I mean, he did a bunch of sides for VJ and other smaller labels, but for the Northern Soulers out there, the ones that love Northern Soul like I like Northern Soul, I'm getting addicted to this genre, I'm telling you. I tripped on 2 songs that Wade is known for in the Northern Soul staples, That Other Place and Jeanette. Jeanette rocks. Man, oh man, I like the way that one goes. And then to top that off, He was a singer and musician in the original lineup of Earth, Wind and Fire, but he was only there from 71 to 72. I want to say the first album or two Wade Flemons was on before Barry White, I am so sorry, Maurice White went off and released him, pretty much. So, and he passed away in October of '93. Wade Flemons. All right, next piece. This one was from Illinois Fine too. Those first couple were Illinois Finds. This is another one. On MPAC, Harold Barrage, I don't know. Everybody's Dancing, with the flip being That's a Friend. Man, oh man, this song cooks. I went and looked and did a little research on this one. 45 Cat was where I got these info pieces. He did some Northern Soul too. This is a minor Northern Soul, I'm led to believe. So I'm kind of happy that I actually ended up finding this. But Harold Burridge, this one, Everybody's Dancing, from 1963. He pretty much, his recording career was started out in 1950 with Decca, and then he didn't record till 54 with States, which is a very tough label for a lot of things. Jumped to Cobra in 56 to 58, and then BJ in 59, but ended up being with Impact from late 62 to 67. He does have a handful more of Northern Soul staples. Check out Harold Burridge if you do like that kind of stuff, just like I do. All right. Next one. Did this one here, another Illinois one. On Guidin', Tomorrow, from Donnie Owens. Now, this was December 1958. And it made it to 89 on Cashbox in January 59. This was a Philly label, of course. He was born in 38 in Pennsylvania, and he played guitar for Dwayne Eddy's Rebels. That's right. Need You was actually his first hit. This was his second hit. In October 58 was Need You. Made it to number 25. Dwayne Eddy is on acoustic guitar on that cut. He ended up pretty much for the rest of his recording career, he was on small labels through 66. Unfortunately, though, accidentally shot to death in October of 94 at age 55. But you know what? Tomorrow, really neat little doo-wop cut. Honestly, doo-wop-ish. I think you'd get a kick out of that, too. Alright, next one. I know you can't see it very well, but on Paris, Hideaway, from the Four Esquires. This one came out in 1958. Made it to number 21 on the Billboard charts. They started out in 1955 and pretty much finished off around 1969. 55 started out with Cadence and finished up their career on Columbia. Wally Gold was their big main member pretty much of this band. A lot of kind of interesting things about Wally. He co-wrote Good Luck Charm and It's Now or Never for Elvis, and Leslie Gore's It's My Party and others. In the 1970s, in the early 1970s, he was the one that discovered the group Kansas and guided them to Kirshner. He also happened to be the music coordinator. Here comes my really bad impression for the day. For Don Kirshner's rock concert. I know, that was horrible. But Four Esquires with Hideaway from 58. Yes. Alright, we're getting there, guys. Next one here. On Lance. Alone, from October 1957. This band was from Middletown, Ohio. 18 on the Billboard 100. Actually made it to 14 on the UK charts. Pretty much their label work was Lance, Mercury, MGM, and pretty much finishing off with Warwick. It was a group of four sisters with the last name of Shepherd, of course. So kind of a neat little ballady type thing from them. This next one was the head scratcher of all of them, but I picked this up, like I said, and actually I guess all of these were Illinois finds except the last one here. On D-Voice record, this is a white label promo, Junior Zangle from the Ackland Brothers. Now, like I said, this is kind of a head scratcher on all of this. The best we could figure out here, this is from 1961, alright? Junior's angled goofy doo-wop tune. Seriously, I Want My Baby's a nice soulful ballad. There's the flip side on that. The only bits of information other than finding out that Du Bois was exclusively distributed by VJ back then, alright? Du Bois was Arkansas-based, and it was co-owned by Albertus Isbell, a.k.a. Al Bell, who of course would end up being the president of Stax Records a few years down the line. I actually really like this thing. I'll tell you the truth, I remember when I had my radio show about 16, 17 years back in Chicago, I actually played this sucker, and I ended up getting a handful of phone calls wanting to know who was this and where they could get it, and I'm like, surprise, it's a 45 and it's not on CD. Now I don't know if it's on CD now, but I can tell you both sides are on YouTube as well, because I went and purloined from that. And by the way, the information I got out of this one from BobReuter.com. That's right, for the Ackland brothers. The last 45 I'm going to show today, 1973 on 20th Century Records, the Young Hearts. This info comes from soulwalking.co.uk website. Now, the Young Hearts started out in Dorsey High School in LA in 1961. Who also happened to be over at Dorsey High School literally that year along with the Young Hearts? Well, how about the Beach Boys, Marilyn McCoo and Ron Townsend from the Fifth Dimension? Yeah, they ended up attending at the same time too. Now, originally though, the band was called the Extremes. Different spelling here. The first single, The Bells, was a top 10 R&B hit. Half the band joined with the girl group The Blossoms and ended up doing background work for Phil Spector and Dobie Gray in the early to mid-60s. In 1967, the Young Hearts were formed, and they ended up on Canterbury, Minute, AFCO Embassy, 20th Century, and then finished off on ABC from 76 to 77. I will say this, I really like both sides of this. It's soulful. It's typical early 70s soul, but from what I went and gleaned off of YouTube as well, the Canterbury stuff and the Minute stuff, oh man, there is some Northern Soul staples there for sure. And this is some of the UK websites saying Northern Soul staples, not me saying it. Now I do want to throw one last little factoid out here about this particular song, of course, Stop What You're Doing Girl, which is what I liked. This was sampled. This was sampled for, I cannot even read my writing, Outradiction. That's the name of the song, Outradiction by 2 Chainz. That's right, so 2 Chainz sampled this little 45 as well. One of these days, we're going to do an episode about sampling and the rap music industry. But I want to do a lot more research on that before I end up doing that video for you. I think some of you people would be interested in what Mighty Psycho will finally pull out on this. New sub since the last time. I hope I get these right. Bear with me. FF789N10. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. How about Corbin Amando? Corbin Amando, all one word. RXS Pro. S. Jones. Dan Seaton. Cetean. I hope I got that right, Dan. Kevin Soul. Styx 1231. I'm assuming you watched my Mission video, and I thank you for subbing. God, what an awesome album. Scott Carr and Kevin O are all my new subs since the last time I had a vinyl find Psycho Platters. I'm only ever going to mention them on the vinyl episodes. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark and Night Owl Lounge. 6 to 9 Central Standard and 9 to 10 Central Standard. There's also a new show I apologize I've not had a chance to listen to, but right after Mike's show, the Wallflower Hour, I'm led to believe is on from 10 to 11 p on Central Standard. So all on Sunday nights though. That'll keep you busy for 6 hours. But some of the best damn music you're ever going to hear. Go like them on Facebook, their individual group pages. Okay, please do that. Thrifty Music Collectors Group, Tim Smith and Company, always there, always good stuff there too. Shindig, the best damn English rock magazine, period, out there. Period, I'm telling you. Record Collector can kick ass and sometimes, but Shindig still tops everybody, at least in my eyes. Also, let's see, Vinyl Grotto, Doug Fields is talking about doing another episode. He is. Not sure if he'll have it up yet by the time you guys see this, but I hope so. And of course, the YouTube vinyl community. Without the YouTube vinyl community, we wouldn't be here, would we? Not really. I love you, VC. I want to mention one last thing. I'm going to be doing this all the way to the 15th of July when I do my vinyl episodes. Tulsa Record Show. If you're in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, July 15th from 10 to 4 p.m. at Mammoth Comics. Here's the address. 4614 East 11th Street in Tulsa. They also happen to have a Facebook page. Go like them too, because I'm led to believe that if this record show does outstanding, there will be more record shows in the future. I don't want to stick words in their mouth, but that's what I thought I heard. I saw earlier before I shot this broadcast that at least 125 people are going to this show, and there's another 400 plus interested. So like I said, if you're in the Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, and heck even Texas or Kansas, it may behoove you to go to this record show. Mighty Psycho, God forbid, I will be there along with a couple of my friends. Who? You may just have to be surprised. And I've already put out there that I'd like to film an episode from that record show. So supposedly I'm waiting for an answer on that. Alright guys, you know what? I appreciate you guys staying with me. Please like and sub Psycho's Platters if you haven't done so yet, because there's going to be a lot more vinyl finds and a lot more new album reviews too. So till next time, it's either going to be part 2 of the Vinyl 45 will be the next episode, or will it be the new 2 CD edition of Prince's Purple Rain? Could be either one, kids. Alright, take care. God bless. Rock on. See you next time.